Welcome to Nameless Debate Radio, where radioactivity is contagious. You can join us in broadening our minds on the Nameless Debates Discord via the link below, and even feature here yourself, if you've got what it takes.
Oh, dude, that's dope.
It did work.
That is fucking
And it started-
sick, man.
And did it summon the bot? Yeah, it did summon the bot. Told you it works.
Nameless Coliseum auto records.
Everyone go back to tavern.
people. No, King Tan. No. Come
Why
on, mate.
not?
Let's hear it.
I
Why
don't want
exactly?
you. You're an
Why
absolute
was it-
asshole.
Oh, that's a bit unrelated. Why was
Well-
Why were the roles that I assigned to Death Spell Omega unfair?
What do you mean? So you think he's a spaz? Do you know what a spaz is?
Yep.
Tell me what a spaz is. Because I think you're a bit of a spaz for calling him a spaz in the first place.
I mean, how so?
What do you mean, how so? That's spastic that you called him a spaz in the first place.
I mean, not really. Like, he acts in a bit of a spastic manner when he talks.
No. Do you know what a spaz is?
Yeah.
Tell me.
It's, like, related to, like, muscle spasms.
Like. What do you mean? So, you think he has muscle spasms?
I think that the way that he talks is indicative of having things about you that you can't control, like impulsive behaviors that are similar to muscle spasms.
So how is he impulsive, man?
Also, I thought we
he
called
just
him.
like stops
Isn't the tag referring to the shotgun?
referring to the what?
Like, is it
We don't
the shotgun?
want fake
Like a
Aussies speaking in this.
spaz.
Of
A spaz is a
course,
type of
yeah.
shotgun, and we
Exactly.
were referring to his shotgun approach of just like
Exactly.
shooting all of
Exactly.
his views everywhere.
Yeah.
Basically, instinct. I think with you, your brain doesn't develop and work like in an ordinary way.
Okay.
I find you
So does that mean that it developed in like an extraordinary way?
No,
Probably.
underdeveloped, my friend.
Well, like, what is the it's not
Or
ordinary.
was that supposed to be like
So,
a
like-
really
Wait a minute. Is
fancy
Death Spell
word?
muted? Server muted?
Oh, that's because he left when he was still muted.
Oh.
There you
Well, I think your brain is.
How are you, dude?
You think
Yeah,
like
good. I haven't seen my argument faulted yet. Just insults.
yeah,
How
instinct
it
has
works.
Wait,
very
yes.
complex. He suffers with he suffers extreme.
I have a what? Sorry.
So you suffer with superiority complex.
I've typed
A
my
superhero
argument
complex.
I've typed my argument up
Yeah.
in the chat, so if you do want to
Yeah,
go through it,
the thing
actually,
is, every single
fault the
moderator.
argument instead of insulting, you can do so.
The most interesting
Okay.
thing is all the moderators
Can-
know instinct some way, shape, or form. Alivia knows him. Arthas knows him. Sammy knows him. Nanoscholar knows him. Like, it's funny how all the mods are related to you some way, shape, or form. They're your associate.
Yep. It's probably because I'm really, really good at debating.
No.
Oh, I think anyone that actually can show there's problems with your worldview, you just call them a spaz and shut them down. I've demonstrated problems with your views repetitively. You just ignore actual cogent criticisms of your system, man. Repeatedly. You're not looking for truth, man. You just want to hold on to your theory no matter what. Because you've equated it with your ego. That's why. You're not going to let it go. It doesn't matter what I say or what anyone says.
No, but you're not.
You're
You're not
committed.
listening to
I've
our viewpoint
demonstrated.
either.
I've pointed out, I've quoted your theory literally, having demonstrated the logical necessity of the proposed constituent elements of everything, ontological or predicative commitment to everything generates an aggregative or
Hey,
compositional set
Chris.
of paradoxes. If you don't
Could you do
understand
me a
how this
favor,
works,
man? Stop talking. Okay. Could you do me a favor, Chris? Could you add as a feature to the bot that when one person dominates the conversation, other people try to speak and they don't get a chance to repeatedly, they get muted
I need
automatically.
to speak up because you keep distorting and misrepresenting my opinions all
No,
constantly.
because listen,
You
shut
claim
the
not to.
fuck up.
Okay.
Shut
do,
the fuck up. I'm
constantly.
talking to Chris.
Okay. Yeah, I can try to do that. I'm not sure how
That would
easy
be
it would be
cool.
to do. But
That
yeah,
would be cool.
so Death Spell. I have one. I'm gonna try and articulate my position once more because you don't seem to have. When you tried to restate my position back in main, you got it incorrect. So I'm just gonna start with a straightforward example. Okay, so what do you think is the identity of the number 1? Is it 1? Right? Does that? Would you agree with that?
No, it's not just one. It's also shares identity with the set of all numbers.
So 1 is equal to the set of. So 1 is equal to every single
Yes,
number.
and so this is actually called naive set theory. This is where paradoxes like this get generated. And if you're ontologically committed to the existence of everything,
The meme
it
is
is
occurring. The
theoretic
meme
paradox.
is occurring right fucking now.
If you
I
don't
didn't
wanna
even have
model
to
it-
like. He
if you
just
don't wanna
immediately
model it
jumped
in
to that
a-
position.
I know, dude. It's like it's like he's a clown or something.
He like
Because
he
you
like
don't even understand your own
telepathically like.
position. I have to explain your own positions to you so you can understand them. You either model everything
Okay,
in naive
so-
set theory, or you model it in a restricted
Okay,
set
okay.
theory, or either way,
Okay,
you get
so-
paradoxes. If you don't understand
Okay,
this, you don't
so
understand philosophy.
I have a question for you. I have a question for
Kill
you.
me.
So
Kill me now.
if one is equal to the set of all natural numbers, what is 1 plus 1?
The set of all natural numbers plus itself. These are called naive set theoretic paradoxes.
Dude,
What I
I don't
need to
think you
ask
know
you
what
is
infinity is. I don't think you
Either
know
you
what
model, do
infinity
you
is.
model everything in a set theory or
No,
a
no, no, no,
merological
no.
theory?
So like, so you've got the set of all natural numbers, right? And that
Yeah.
plus itself means that you have two
Yeah, the set
sets
of
of
all
all natural numbers,
plus
but
itself is
two is the set of all natural numbers. So that means you have the set of all natural numbers number of set of all natural numbers.
yeah, it's sets contained in with themselves.
No,
It's called non-foundational
it-
set theory.
Dude,
Yes,
this
look
guy-
into it.
Immediately
You
breaks
understand?
down.
Dude, do you know what a convergent series is? Do you know what a convergent series is?
It's irrelevant.
Please Google it.
What?
It is
How?
relevant.
Okay.
The natural numbers are defined as being as numbers in a natural number. The natural numbers are defined as being themselves. It's circular. That's what our identity works.
Chris, your fucking command is
Each-
fucking awesome. The announcement post is sick.
Yeah. And when you leave the
Does
thing, like
does
it also
everything
assign-
exist?
Sorry, go
Like-
Chris.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I'll get back to the debate in a sec. When you do the debate stop command, it also moves everyone back into whichever channel you specify.
That
and
is so
stops the
cool,
bot.
man.
And like also when it starts it, if you tag people, it'll give them the role of gladiator. And then we were supposed to set up so only people that have the role of gladiator can talk in the debate VCs.
That's fucking
And then,
dope.
and then like the mods can like give other people role of gladiator and stuff so they can talk. But yeah, that bit hasn't been set up yet. But yeah, back to the
You should definitely come over sometime this week, and we should work on it.
okay.
I find it telling how one thing has to get you to debate me because he clearly doesn't know anything about set theory. Not even
Oh my
remotely.
God,
Otherwise,
that's
he'd
not
address
what's
it. He'd address it.
No, what's happening is that he is getting ridiculously frustrated, and if he says anything, he's just going to start spewing abuse. Fortunately, I am much more patient and willing to listen out and like try and have this discussion.
Chris genuinely did better than me when we studied the subject together. He graduated the subject really well, and he graduated his degree very well. And the idea that you know this ideas that we're talking about better than him is just unlikely, especially since me and him have talked about them a lot.
Address the arguments. That's irrelevant.
Oh,
Okay, so what was your position?
Just
What was your
address the
position again?
argument I've given, or I concede you've lost. It's as simple as that. You don't address it.
Yo,
You're not doing
what's your
Can you
thesis
please
statement?
can
State
I've
you
your
please
written it out.
restate? Yeah.
bro.
I have written it out. Scroll up and read it.
State your thesis statement.
I've written it out. Shut the fuck up.
No, are you too pussy to say it out loud?
Talking to you back at us, loser. What the fuck do you know
Wait,
about
are
it?
you embarrassed?
God,
Are you
is this
embarrassed to
happening?
say it?
I'm embarrassed by atheist nitwits who think they have domain knowledge. You don't know jack.
Oh,
do you
dude,
even know what
someone's
atheist means,
someone's
bro?
a bit frustrated.
I have a right to be frustrated with how you behave, man. When I
I'm
first came
sorry.
into this survey, all you did was insult
I'm so
people,
tempted
man.
to just-
And then you
Hey,
turn
dude.
your character attacks around on everyone else.
Dude, when,
How about you hold a
just-
mirror up to
just
your
quickly,
face and look how you conduct yourself, man?
Ah, that's a good point. Could you tell me what your address is so I can send you a box of tissues for Christmas?
Can,
Why do you want to send me a
do
box
I
of
just-
tissues? I wouldn't
Because you
cry
just
over
crying.
anything you
You
said.
are
I
crying.
wouldn't cry over anything you said, man. You couldn't harm a
listen to
fly.
you then.
I bet you're a
Can-
pissy
can
little
I-
wimp boy who sits around.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Can I
Whoa, whoa.
like
Say it. Say the full sentence.
anyway, no, that's okay. Can I like extend Death
did.
Spell's position to its fullest extent?
Yeah, dude, let's hear it.
It's a little bit memey, but okay.
You know I
So
love the meme.
like this, the set of all things exists, right? And each individual element within that set is equal to the whole, right? And they're all equal to each other. They're all equal, right? So that set contains poo, and the set also contains Death Spell. So Death Spell is equivalent to poo.
Dude, that's brutal. Game over.
Yeah, but I'm also equivalent to a super genius because that's also in the set.
But you're equivalent to
my
poo, though.
God.
And that's not even
Wait,
an
doesn't mean that
argument.
I'm also equivalent to a super genius?
Dude,
You are.
I wanna know
It's called
how
the-
you-
it's called the problem of the one and the many. You got all right. You guys haven't refuted the argument.
Hey,
That's all
dude.
right.
Hey, dude.
Yo,
I'll
how do
concede
you
you-
how do you
I'll-
just wait,
conceptualize
can I
just
sorting your
quickly-
set?
I'll
Can
accept
I
that
just
you've
say, like,
conceded
in the
and you don't
abstract,
even know how to
dude,
begin to address
shut
the argument.
Fuck up. Let's just deal with something like in the general, in the abstract, right? When you say that's called X, and you've said it before, you don't sound that smart. You're just repeating yourself.
Address
And like
the argument. This is irrelevant.
your entire position is
Address one of the
paradoxical.
premises. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get through your thick skulls. When you predicate the existence of one to many, you have a set theoretic paradox. And if you knew about this, you would address it in the theory.
Hey,
You're out of
Chris,
your depth.
Just
You don't
high five
understand it.
yourself. That was game over.
That's not an argument. You don't understand the argument. You're not flooring it.
No,
A paradox
what I'm
is
saying, like
You are
your
ontologically
position, your
committed to
version,
it. So is
your
yours, mate.
version of set theory, your version of set theory, where everything is equivalent, is paradoxical. If you have a version of set theory where things are distinct and have their own identities, because that's how the law
Yeah.
of identity was
It's the
designed
same
to
one
work,
you are committed
it is
to.
not.
It's the same
It
one
is
you.
not
Yes, it is.
paradoxical.
Does the set of all sets have a logical identity?
Hey.
Okay,
hey,
in my-
do
in
you
my-
know how you
listen,
know?
listen.
Stop.
Quick,
We'll
quick.
call that. No. Stop quickly. We'll call that question one. This is one of the rhetoric pieces that you say. You say this thing. It doesn't mean anything. Question one. Okay, you say that thing you just said. Every time we say question one, that's you not. You're not allowed to say that.
The set of all
Okay,
sets has a
let me-
logical identity. Self-identical.
So,
Basic logic.
in my version of set theory, because things are
Your
equal to
version.
themselves, the identity of true is true, the identity of false is false. True does not equal false in my version of set theory. In your version of set
Dude,
theory,
listen.
true does equal
How can you
false,
compare them if they don't overlap?
and that is why it's paradoxical.
No, they do and they don't. It's a paradox. That's the whole point of a paradox.
No, they do and they
True and
do.
false
No,
don't
but
overlap in
yeah,
a set.
if-
True and
if-
false don't
Death
overlap in a
spell,
set.
Death
Let me
spell.
finish. Let me finish. If true and false don't overlap in a set, you can't compare them to each other. So they don't share structural identity. You are committed to the
can I-
same paradoxical version of set theory itself when you
Yo, I
claim
have a
everything
thought
Exactly.
exists.
That's what
Yeah,
we're
so
saying.
I'm
We're
trying to
saying
get into
false
your
does
head,
not
it's a
exist.
paradox. No, false
False-
does exist. Things
Stop.
are false.
Death spell.
No.
False
No,
exists.
Death spell. You're not getting it right. What we're saying is, if things are true and false, they're just false, and falseness isn't there. It's your misapprehension of the things that are.
So how do you know what truth is if there's no falsity?
Because everything's true, you are confused.
Yeah, everything's true now. Okay, so the proposition that you're wearing a fucking tutu is probably true. In fact, that probably
It's
is.
true in your imagination. It's not true
No, okay.
outside of your head. And
Objectively.
is
You
it,
just said everything's
this
true.
is-
That's contradictory. Not everything is true. That's contradictory.
Guys,
Everything
guys, I have
which
a thought
That's called
objectively
logical
exists
trivialism.
is true.
Yeah, and things you can imagine objectively
Yeah, so there's
exist
things that don't
inside your
exist. You need
imagination.
things that don't exist to know
Dude,
what's real.
listen. Think of a
No, you don't.
think of
Yes,
think
you
of
do.
a
Otherwise, you have nothing to
matrix
contrast them with. You don't understand the
hundreds
space.
of-
of
There
thought.
are no things that don't exist.
How can you compare truthity? What's truth?
There are no
If
things
there's no
that don't
falsity
exist.
in basic propositional logic.
There are
you
no
need
things
truth.
that don't exist.
What's truth? Yes, that's what I mean. It's called
Yo,
a paradox.
yeah.
Have you heard of it?
No, it's not a
Defining things
paradox.
that
There
don't
are
exist is a
no
paradox.
things
You're
that
turning it-
don't exist. Are you listening,
You
dude?
can't
Is that
you
prop-
can't use
is that
propositional
propositional?
logic in your system of set theory. You cannot,
Yes, you can.
because A and B are the same thing. You can an A and B is the same as A or B, and the same as A and or not B. Like that you can't
that's
even
how it works.
you
It's
can't
called
make a
paradox of
proposition.
identity. Yes,
No,
you can.
you can't.
I'm cringing.
Literally
Cringe.
How do you know-
literally the
how do
only
you
thing.
know?
Listen,
I just
listen,
did
Death.
one.
Yo,
It's
Death,
called the
Death.
paradox of
Would you
nothingness.
consider a thought experiment?
Let me just ask: are truth and falsity together so you can
Would
compare
you
them?
consider a thought
Are truth
experiment?
and falsity together so that you can compare
Would
them
you
and contrast
consider a
them?
thought
Yes or no?
experiment?
Answer my question.
Would you
So that's
consider a
question
thought
two.
experiment?
If you say no to that question,
Question
then you
two,
have the
ladies and
logical
gentlemen.
trivialism. You have the logical trivialism of everything's true. That means every proposition has a
Chris,
determinant truth.
do
Would you
we
consider
agree?
a
But
thought
if
Do
you
we
say it's
agree
experiment?
this is
false,
question
then
two?
Yeah,
everything is.
that's question
You
2. Yeah.
can't compare what's true and what's false, and therefore everything there would be no distinction
Stop.
between truth and falsity.
Question
That's
two.
perceptually incoherent.
Stop.
Listen.
You guys don't
Would
fucking
you
understand. How about
consider
you
a
guys-
thought
how about-
experiment?
Get a book on
Would-
foundational set theory, philosophy of mathematics, read up on set theoretic, semantic, and logical paradoxes, contrast it with the theory of the one and the many as since historically been argued.
Question
In
one.
philosophy, read about identity, and then maybe get back to me when you comprehend how identity functions.
Question
Listen,
one.
would
Have
you
a good
accept?
night.
What the fuck happened,
Game over, dude. Game over.
dude? He wasn't.
He doesn't know how.
How incoherent.
I changed my mind. I can't.
I know, it's crazy, dude. He's
Even if I
actually
just,
like.
even if I just let him speak and try to use his position and show him and try and work with his position.
Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe, and join us in the Nameless Debates Discord. We hope to see you there.